meeting of August 7th. Please join me in a flag salute. Ready? Salute.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Bolin,
Here.
Commissioner Johnson,
Here.
Commissioner Kimmelshoe,
Here.
Chair Connolly,
Here.
Commissioner McGreehan,
Here.
Commissioner Duncan, here, Commissioner Betts,
Here.
alternate Commissioner Ruff, alternate Commissioner Bradley, alternate Commissioner Ritter, alternate Commissioner Shepherd. Thank you.
Pretty good turnout there. Okay. I don't see any new commissioners. We're all old hat now.
Well, I'll just clarify that special district member elections wrapped up on June 16th. We did finally receive a quorum of votes that resulted in Commissioners McGreehan and Bradley being reelected for their seats for their term to expire May 31st, 2029. So yes, you don't see any new commissioners. We have just reseated our existing commissioners.
My condolences to both of you. Next up is the consent agenda. It's the approval of minutes. Did we have any errors or omissions in minutes there?
I wasn't here.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't here either.
Anybody else?
Even though I read it.
I'll move approval.
I'll second.
Any further
Second.
discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
I'll abstain too, because I wasn't here, unless you need me to vote.
1, 2, 3. No, we got a quorum, 5. We're good. All right. Next up is a noticed public meeting. It's a Butte County Agricultural Water Providers Public Review Draft Municipal Services Review and Sphere of Influences Plans Update. I wonder what the acronym would be for that. All right.
Stand here because I have a presentation to give. I'll go through this briefly. So we took on a comprehensive update and the name that encapsulates all the districts I came up with agriculture water providers. So we did a municipal service review and sphere of influence update for these 5 districts. So again, the purpose of this municipal service review, it's required under the Cortese-Knox-Hertzberg Local Government Reorganization Act to review these districts every 5 years as needed. The MSR evaluates service delivery, infrastructure, finances, and governance. It supports informed sphere of influence decisions. So no formal sphere of influence amendment is requested with this. However, any future amendments would come back to this document for support. And then, of course, the Tuscan Water District, as part of their formation, was required to submit a request for municipal service review and to establish their sphere of influence. So that's incorporated into this document. And then this document was written in coordination with all the districts. I relied on them heavily, so I'm very thankful for them. We move the mouse. It's like, yeah. Okay, so just to give you, you all know, but the regional setting, all 5 districts are located in Western Butte County. That's characterized by flat, fertile valley floor, clay-rich soils, and reliable surface water resources make it ideal conditions for rice, walnut, almond, and row crop production. All districts are formed under the irrigation districts law, except for the Tuscan Water District, which is formed under California Water District law, or is a California Water District. Collectively, these districts support over 260,000 acres of irrigated land in Western Butte County. Agriculture is a key economic driver in Butte County, generating $690 million in gross value in 2022. And for the 5 districts, excluding Tuscan Water District, deliver surface water. with longstanding pre-1914 water rights or other settlement agreements. So I'll start by going through each of the districts and just sort of give you a overview of the findings. The Biggs West Gridley Water District is located obviously in West Butte County. It sort of flanks the cities of Biggs and Gridley to the west. It was formed in 1942 and serves 34,000 acres and operates approximately 80 miles of canal system. It holds pre-1914 senior water rights and is a member of the Joint Water Districts Board. A major aspect of the district is that they deliver 44,000 acre feet of water to the Gray Lodge Wildlife Refuge under a federal contract. They proposed an increase to standby charges to address their budget deficits back in 2024, but that failed at a 218 vote. So because of that, the district relies on its water sales and some reserves to cover its operating costs. And the district's boundaries overlap with the city of Gridley and the city of Biggs sphere of influence. And because of that, they have seen some conversion of land use to urban uses. The Butte Water District sits just south of the Biggs West Gridley Water District and extends from just north of Gridley, or just north of Biggs, down around the city of Gridley and into Sutter County around the community of Live Oak. It was formed in 1956 under irrigation district law. It serves 32,000 acres of land in both Butte and Sutter County. It's a member of the Joint Districts Board with pre-1914 senior water rights and delivers about 80,000 acre feet annually of water. They recently, just in the last year, adopted a new standby charge and a GSA fee, which is something new and different to help cover their operational costs and costs associated with implementing groundwater sustainability plans. The district overlaps or interfaces with the city of Biggs, Live Oak, and Gridley. So does experience some land use changes, but could in the future experience additional conversions from ag land to urban uses. The Richfield Irrigation District sits north of the Biggs West Gridley Water District. It was formed in 1930 and serves approximately 34,000 acres of land, primarily used for rice cultivation. It holds pre-1914 senior water rights and is part of the Joint Water Districts Board. Relies on irrigation water sales and standby charges to fund its operations, and they benefit from a consistent and reliable customer base. Like I said, mostly rice farming with very little land conversion due to the underlying zoning of the district being agriculture, lots of land in Williamson Act contracts, and no significant urban development within the district. Then we have the Tuscan Water District. It was formally established in 2024, formed under the California Water District law. It encompasses 102,000 acres of land west in the West County, extending from the Tehama County District border down around the city of Chico and to the northern boundary of the Western Canal Water District. Does not own any delivery infrastructure. There essentially is no delivery infrastructure within the district bounds, but it was formed to play a role in groundwater sustainability planning and coordination for the citizens within the district. And since its formation, they've formalized relationships with the Vina GSA, the Rock Creek Reclamation District, and the Butte County GSA through memoranda of understanding entered into in early 2024. And they are governed by a 9-member board of directors elected by district. Then we have the Western Canal Water District. It sits south of the Tuscan Water District and north of the Richfield Irrigation District. It was formally formed in 1984 when they took over for the Western Canal, the canals owned by the Western Canal Company, which dates back to 1911. They encompass 62,000 acres of land in Butte and Glenn counties. The revenues are generated primarily through irrigation and winter water sales and supplemented by standby assessments. They hold pre-1914 water rights to the Feather River, entitling them to 150,000 acre feet of natural river flow, 145,000 acre feet of stored water from the North Fork project, and 11,000 feet of adjudicated water rights from Butte Creek. They have a well-established and consistent group of ag customers with little land conversion to urban uses because, again, underlying zoning and lands in Williamson Act contracts. So some key shared challenges among the districts: aging infrastructure. Most of them have been around and are using the same infrastructure as they were 100 years ago. So updating and investing in capital improvements is difficult and expensive. Financially constrained due to Prop 218 processes and they rely on reserves because of that, unfortunately, some of them. Groundwater sustainability compliance is a new aspect for, not new, but, 10 years old now, that it's a significant investment for these districts to have to come into compliance with these groundwater sustainability plans. Although they don't rely on groundwater, it is important that they play a role in the groundwater sustainability for their customers who do rely on groundwater, and also to maintain that existing surface water right. They have limited staffing and administrative capacity, which it forces them to hire consultants to complete a lot of these state mandated plans. They unfunded government mandates coming down from the state are a huge financial burden, like Sigma, infrastructure reporting, audits, rate processes under the 218 process. These are all expensive. And then again, rising legal and regulatory costs. The amount of money that these districts now have to invest into their legal counsel to avoid or fight legal challenges is expensive. And then, of course, the ongoing battle to preserve their ag lands as urban centers like Gridley and Biggs and Live Oak need to find land for housing. It comes at the expense of some of these districts. So I do have a summary of the MSR determinations for growth and population projections. All 5 districts have stable agricultural areas. We will see some conversion to urban uses for some of the districts, but nothing significant. There are no disadvantaged unincorporated communities within the district boundaries, and they do not provide municipal level services. Their infrastructure is generally adequate to meet the needs of their customers, but they will need to invest in ongoing capital improvements. Financially, they run with tight financial constraints with varying levels of fiscal health, although they are meeting the needs of their customers. There's little opportunity for shared facilities, although the districts all do work together in other matters. They may not share canals, but they all work together in other ways. Each district is governed by an engaged landowner elected board who represent the constituents of their districts well. And each of the districts is meeting their complex regulatory requirements. It's impressive what they've accomplished with under their financial constraints, and they will continue to have to invest in that. So for the SOI determinations, again, this is basically a repeat of what I went over for you in the MSR determinations, where we see and predict little conversion of ag lands in most of the districts because, like I said, underlying zoning protections and Williamson Act contracts, although some of these districts will see conversions as they border these urban areas like Gridley and Biggs. No pressing present needs and probably no need for future expansion. The districts are limited by how much water they can deliver, and the canals that they operate are at capacity to deliver the water that they do. So there's not any need to expand or generate new canals. Each district serves a well-defined ag community of interest, and their government structure and service areas are appropriate line to meet the needs of the landowners. And none of the districts, like I said, contain or are adjacent to disadvantaged unincorporated communities. So with that, for each of the districts, I am recommending that you reaffirm the existing sphere of influence, finding that all the districts are meeting the needs of their constituents. For the Tuscan Water District, as was required for their formation, I'm asking that we establish a coterminous sphere of influence, coterminous with the existing service boundary of that district. So just to go over some details, the draft MSR was posted for public review and to all affected agencies on July 15th, 2025. We're required to circulate the document for 21 days, and we did it for just a few days more. Comments would be incorporated into the final document, although as of today, no public comment has been received. And we're finding that the document, or recommending that the document is exempt from CEQA exemption or CEQA review under sections 15306 and 15061B3. So today, I was asking that you would adopt Resolution 172425 approving the MSR. I know Commissioner Betts has some comments, so most likely I'll be recommending instead that you give me direction to incorporate the comments into the document, and we bring it back to the next meeting for final adoption. Okay, so I'm happy to ask any questions. There is at least one representative from Big Sos Gridley Water District. I'll answer any questions or concerns.
So basically, this review is just taking place to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, the last review of these districts was done in 2010. The Butte Water District was reviewed in, I think, 2018. But as you know, there's been significant changes to water law with SIGMA coming into play. And so I thought it was time to bring these, to capture that in the municipal service review. It adds a whole layer of complexity to what these districts are doing. And so I thought it was important that we capture that in the municipal service review and make sure that they're staying in compliance.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is something that you should have or didn't need to address, and that is because I represent the area in the Biggs Gridley area. If there is any more urban development in those areas, there's so many canals, whether they're drainage canals, whether they're irrigation delivery canals. The issue down there is safety.
Yeah.
And should they be undergrounded? And whose responsibility is to do that? Is it the is it the water districts themselves? Is it the city of Gridley or Biggs? So that's just something, I don't know. It probably doesn't need to be addressed, but as LAFCo, do we have any say in that issue? If there's an annexation, would we require those to be undergrounded?
So the way it's addressed in this document is that we encourage coordination between the districts and the city of Gridley and Biggs, and they are doing that now. They were once upon a time not coordinating in any way. So they are now, the districts now have a seat at the table when new development is proposed within the city of Gridley. The city of Gridley general plan requires that when a map that includes or is adjacent to some sort of canal, either owned by a district or a reclamation district, that the canal be dedicated to the city for ongoing maintenance. So it would be up to the city, in my opinion, to either collect some sort of fee to put into a pool of money to eventually underground the canals. The developers need to play a role in that. That is, in my opinion, the expense of building in Gridley. There are canals. It's like in Chico, if you build next to Bruce Road, you know you're going to have to invest in the widening of Bruce Road. If you build in Gridley and you build next to a canal, you have to invest in making the canal safe. And so I'm actually wrapping up the MSR for the city of Gridley. And so that will mirror the recommendations that we make, that these districts and the city of Gridley continue to work together. I'm not offering them any sort of conclusion or this is what you should be doing, but again, encouraging them to meet with the districts, to meet the needs of the district and the city at the same time.
Okay, that's great news. Thank you very much.
Shannon, just out of curiosity, I'm curious on the distribution of notification to various parties about the MSR. Did you include the Butte County Ag Commissioner?
I send it to Butte County CAO's office and they distribute that. Did I include I believe I did include the new ag commissioner. We include, so the county has this distribution, the way they distribute these documents. I did include the county and then of course all affected agencies. I definitely included the water resources department. And so I want to say that, yes, I did include, it
Okay.
was a whole slew of people.
Thank you.
Have the districts considered like not cooperation, I don't want to say consolidation, but cooperation on issues such as unfunded mandates and or Sigma. Seems like if they all work together, they could spread the costs and it'd be more efficient.
I would say that is happening, and I think Danny would agree that yes, especially under the districts who are under the joint districts, they work cooperatively. They for under legal matters and under Sigma, I would say there is a very high level of cooperation going on amongst all the
Is
districts.
that something that we should report on?
I'm sorry,
Should that be included in our LAFCo report?
was it? You want me to beef that part up?
A little bit.
Okay.
I think because going forward, the face it, the rest of the state wants our water
Sure.
and they're going to erode water rights, especially pre-1914, 15, however you put it. And they need to cooperate and work together strongly because the more unified voice be heard more strongly.
Sure. There's definitely, I mean, I can think of areas in the document where I could expand on the fact that it is a concern of theirs that those pre-1914
but-
rights.
Wouldn't hurt to put it in here, right?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Good job, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do have a comment regarding Gridley. I'm glad to see that the current administration of Gridley is actually doing things right,
Yeah.
working and reaching out to the district. So
Yes, it's good. It's come along. with.
Shannon, I got some questions. First, a comment or a question is, did the districts get an administrative draft copy of this document to review?
Yes.
And they appear to be happy since none are here
Yeah,
today.
the districts have participated with me all along the way. They
Okay.
received the
Mr. Betts, you're trying to create trouble.
No, just making sure.
I met with each of the districts individually and went over a slew of questions, wrote the chapter, sent the chapter to the district for their review and comment, compiled what my final draft version, sent it back to them. So yes, they have all participated and
That's good. Good.
yeah,
And I do have some comments, one of which I already talked to you about. We'll go over that.
yeah,
My first comment is the maps. To me, they should be in color. A lot of the roads symbol or the road that are identified aren't needed, and they cover up a lot of the boundary lines.
okay.
So I think a little more finesse, and that's in all the maps.
Yeah, that's
And
an
and
area
one
where
thing
we,
is Butte, Glenn and Sutter County are not labeled.
sure,
So some of them go into the other district, into the other county. So that'd be nice to have those. So
Okay.
a little more finesse on
Yeah.
those maps would be great. On page 26, there's a reference to high agricultural, and that's in each section. Let's see, let me find that. So like in that page 26, maybe I got the wrong page here. Let's see.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's reference throughout the document. It says high agriculture. I think that should say high value agriculture.
Okay.
Because I saw that term elsewhere in the document. So just saying high agricultural didn't make sense to me,
Okay.
but high value does. So I think that's what you meant to say there. And that again, that repeats in all the sections.
Okay.
And then on page 63, footnote 26 refers to the Berry Creek area plan.
Oh, gosh.
And I don't know why that's there. I think that's just got thrown in accidentally.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that could be removed.
What, the cannabis industry? What do you think they do?
Okay.
Um,
It's weird.
it looks like on Butte Water District on page 85, 86, it identified the website as being deficient or needing improvement. But there was no determination to that effect.
Okay.
So you had that in the other districts,
Okay.
basically the same identical finding or determination. So I think that should be added. And then as I already discussed with you on page 86, the determinations for that section are wrong. They're the same as the previous
Yeah.
determinations, the ones for governance structure. So with that, I think you need to come back with those. So we
With
can-
those determinations, I agree.
and then on page 114, determination number 4, it references the Bay Delta watershed. I think you meant the Sacramento Valley watershed in there. Because I
Okay.
don't know why anything would be Bay Delta watershed. Then on page 136, determination 1, it says TWD provides only agricultural irrigation, but they don't provide.
Yeah, they don't provide the.
So you
yeah.
need to finesse that a little bit to say what they do provide. And then on page 165, renumbered determination 4 to 5. I think there were 2 4s there.
Oh,
So that's just a number. So that's all I have. The document was very, very good, very clear, very concise. And as a reminder to the commission, this document is not just for us, but it's also for the public. And I think any member of the public reading this will get a very good idea of what each individual district does. So it's
Thank you.
So very good document.
good. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? We'll open public comment on this matter. Is there any public comment? We'll close public comment. And what we're looking for is an motion to continue this and come back with the changes.
Yes, there's an option in the staff report that identifies incorporating the changes suggested today and bringing the document back for final adoption at the next meeting.
So move.
Second,
Any further discussion? Again, good job. Thank you.
Thank you.
absolutely.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no? Passes unanimously.
Good job. I want to thank you that was great. And thank you, Mr. Betts, for looking through it.
That's what I used to do. So I'm used.
I get so blurry eyed. I don't
Always
see
count on
stuff. so
Mr.
I mean,
Betts.
That was incredible.
Well, don't give him any ideas now. Okay, we're on 4.2, consideration of California Public Employees Retirement System Post-Retirement Appointment Exemption.
Yes, you'll recall at our June meeting, we attempted this similar item to waive the 180-day waiting period to bring Mr. Lucas back as a retired annuitant. We have since made some clarifying and technical changes to that resolution. So by adopting the resolution today, we would rescind the prior resolution, submit this to CalPERS for their consideration and approval.
Okay, any questions or comments? Public comment on this matter? Close public comment, wishes of the board.
I move that we approve PERS post-retirement appointment exemption pursuant to section 7522.56 of the government code and adopt resolution number 13/20/24/25.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Passes. 4.3, review of the grand jury report.
Okay, so the Butte County Civil Grand Jury report for 24-25 was released on July 22nd. I apologize. It was brought to my attention that the last year's grand jury report was attached to your agenda. So sorry about that. It is available online if you want to review it, but I'm here to tell you that LAFCo is not being asked to respond to anything covered in the grand jury. They talked about two significant things: the City of Biggs governance, finding financial mismanagement of the Biggs Industrial Park, and recommending a full fiscal audit of those lease agreements. And then they discuss the Palermo infrastructure and public health failures. This is nothing new to us, and LAFCO has in the past taken action to help that situation. As you recall, we put a significant portion of Palermo into the South Feather Water and Power Agency so that they could provide drinking water. But what's going on out there, I'm sure Bill has additional comments, is sort of a fiasco between the state and the county and the district, which is unfortunate that there's been so many delays. But they are working towards a solution to get the residents of Palermo safe drinking water. And then we will move forward and hopefully someday get them into the Lake Orville Public Utility District so that they can provide sewer service to that area.
Drinking water. That's sewer service. Yeah.
Yes, well, so first drinking water and then eventually sewer service.
I don't think LAFCO has anything to say about any of this. I mean, City of Biggs is City of Biggs business.
Yes.
County and the district took on drinking water, flooding, drainage. And then Beef Feather River Recreation Park,
Yeah.
the answer for the pool. We have, unless any other commissioner wants LAFCO to comment, I don't think we. Okay, next up, public comment, anything not on the agenda. Closed public comment, executive officers report.
Okay, I'll try to get through this. It's been a while since we've had an executive officer's report, so there are some things to talk about. Ongoing, the lease for our current office space at 1453 Downer Street terminates in March of 2026. So we've engaged with a broker to identify a new office space that meets the needs of our office currently, and we're finding that there are possibilities out in the county somewhere at a cheaper rate than what we're paying now. And so I'll come back to you at a future time if and when we identify a new office space. Orville sewer agencies, there's not much new to talk about here, except for that I do want to point out at the last sentence, I say that no meetings have occurred between the county and the agencies. I stand corrected. They did meet on Tuesday. They had a very specific topic of encroachment that was discussed. I was not in attendance at the meeting. I wasn't able to make it, but I'm glad to hear that they are at least meeting and coordinating. So that's good. Let's see, this is a new topic, county position on forming CSAs. At its June 10th, 2025 meeting, the Board of Supervisors adopted updated policy guidelines significantly restricting the formation of new CSAs. The county will no longer support the formation of CSAs for sewer, water, fire suppression, or other non-core services. So the reason why this ties into us is that, the CSAs eventually come to us for formation, and we see lots of issues with CSAs that are underfunded, undermanaged, because it's a very niche service that the county doesn't provide to anybody else. And so I'm glad to see that the county is taking proactive steps to what this will end up doing is forcing these projects to come up with better and more viable solutions rather than falling back on the county to fund and maintain the services that they've had to in the past. So
I've got a question on this, Bill. Maybe we discussed this and I just forgot it. But if there was a disillusionment of a CSA, does that come through us or is that just county based?
no, we would dissolve it here
You
at
would dissolve it,
LAFCO.
okay.
Yep.
Okay.
We could also
We'd like to
combine,
have that happen.
Let's do it.
Yes. Maybe we should make a list of them. Yeah.
Yeah, well, okay, so that comes up later. I'll talk next about the City of Oroville annexation plan. At its June 17th, 2025 meeting, the Oroville City Council considered it and approved staff's recommendation to initiate a feasibility study for the proposed 2025 annexation strategy. So this is a very comprehensive study, and it looks at, I think, 5 different areas on the fringes of the city of Oroville to study the feasibility and the ability of the city of Oroville to serve these areas. Some of them, like Thermalito, are built out. Some of them would be new or vacant. Some of them are industrial uses. So they've contracted with a company, RSG. They're a statewide company. They do a lot of work for in this area, and they do a lot of LAFCo work. They've already made contact with me to sit down and talk about LAFCO's needs for this particular study. I've had lots of questions from the public, so am encouraging the city of Oroville to start on their public outreach now, start answering questions so that the public perception is based in reality and not what members of the public are coming up with. And so they're very open to that, and that'll kick off shortly. But what I keep telling people is that it's potential that the feasibility study, it could come back negative or it could come back positive. We don't know. We don't know what the feasibility study will say about these areas. And so we just have to wait and see. And then once the feasibility is reviewed and approved by the council, they'll then decide what actions they're going to take. Is it that they pursue annexation of Thermalito, or do they scrap Thermalito and focus on another area? All of that is yet to be determined. And as far as I'm concerned, LAFCo doesn't have an application to consider at this point. And so we are just along for the ride until we're being asked to do something.
I have a comment. I mean, we've missed some low hanging fruit as a commission and as the county, and maybe we should blame the county since we're here. Whenever we allow high density to be built anywhere along the corridor, the flag, we should have annexation. It, like the low income housing project on the corner of Grand and 14th, that should have automatically came into the city. I don't know how we all missed that. Any subdivision that's within reach and can vote in contiguous lots to
Mhm.
Oradam or 162 should come in, because the problem with the growth in Oroville out on the flag is the county's providing 3/4 of the calls for service, and of course not collecting any of the property tax. So the only way to cure that is to make it viable. And then knowing people in Thermalito in general, they don't want to come into the city. So if
Mhm.
they're out of reach, I think the city's wasting time and money to try to force them in. They're not going to do it. I mean,
Yeah, they have to do this strategically for
yeah,
sure.
and you have to educate people. I walked Nelson Avenue 25 years ago before I was ever involved in politics, and talked to people and talked them into annexing in, because we wanted the chip project to come in so I could go do the roofs. But it was just by going out and meeting with them. Well, be honest. You go out and meet the people and say, do you want to vote for the mayor and you want to do this and that? And we got it in, and that's how I got to do the roofs years ago. But yeah, I think we ought to be very aware of any projects that are within reach of the corridor, especially because
I agree.
yeah, I don't know how we unring the bell on that one, but we just passed another one the other day.
Yeah, I believe on 10th, there's some development.
I
going
know.
on. Yeah.
Quick comment. Shannon, what is your understanding of this feasibility study? Is there a timeline involved contractually when it's anticipated to be?
I
finally
believe they
released?
anticipate the feasibility study coming before the council in October.
Of this calendar year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw a presentation that's been prepared for the planning commission.
Yeah.
And there's already numbers attached to it.
Okay. I meet with the city of Oroville next week to talk about LAFCO's needs and what we're going to want to see moving forward. And then that'll get incorporated into the document.
just as Bill mentioned, and being on this commission for over 4 years, I should know this, but can LAFCo initiate an annexation? We
Under,
cannot.
under very, very unique and specific circumstances, yes, but not, there's not anything within our reach right now.
Okay,
to
so
do
if
that.
those projects or those areas that Bill had just mentioned,
The county should have done
The county can initiate
oh,
annexation.
the county can't,
it. Yeah,
okay.
we should have done it. I mean, no sense at all that
We
we
still
did.
do it, Bill?
I don't know that answer.
Okay.
Yeah, technically, yes, you could, although
Okay.
I do believe there's just so much.
But
work
then you would
ahead
have
of-
all the people that
Yeah.
live there voting, and so it's unlikely that they would.
It has to be done
don't-
it has to be, the voters need to make their decision based on the facts, and right now the facts are not out there. And
It'd be
it's gonna
very
take some
difficult.
time.
Okay. Thank you for that
Okay.
answer, I think.
The leverage is, okay, so you create a map, you're within a block of the road, you come to us and we put a condition on it, you need to go in a city. Then we have leverage
Yeah.
because the developer has every lot's vote.
Yes,
Now everybody lives there.
yeah, that's an additional 60
Like
or so
the cats.
voters. Yeah.
Correct. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so moving on to the county CSA program, the county staff is continuing to look for creative and alternative ways to manage the administrative burdens of their CSA program. So we've made some good progress. On July 22nd, I met with county staff and we sort of identified the path that they're wanting to go down. That starts with they're going to kind of do this incrementally. And so what they intend to do is combine all of the CSAs that provide lighting service into one broad countywide CSA with zones of benefit. It's sort of a new concept. I don't know that many counties are doing anything like this. And so we're sort of inventing a wheel as we go, but I think it can be done. So I sort of laid out the plan for county staff and identified what we need and what they need to do. They have some good momentum behind them, and I think this will get them started at least by eliminating this one service and seeing how that goes can propel them into consolidating other CSAs that provide other very specific services. So they've at least identified their path, which before didn't have that. And so that's good.
Could you communicate back to county staff that we as a commission think that's a good idea? to
Yeah, yeah.
Pursue that, but we are also very interested in a viable timeline
Yes,
for accomplishing that first effort.
yes.
I don't know if the rest of the commissioners feel that way, but
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. I mean.
Okay, then moving on to the Tuscan Ridge project, the only reason I've brought this up, this again is the development proposed between the cities of Chico and Paradise along the Skyway. Given the Board of Supervisors' most recent policy direction limiting the formation of new CSAs and PID's previous reluctance to annex and serve the site, it remains unclear how water and sewer service would ultimately be provided and managed at this site. So if I learn anything further, I'll pass it along to you. But I know that they've recently extended the life of this map and are looking for alternative ways to provide sewer and water service. So we'll see what they come up with. If I hear anything, I'll let you know. Nothing new to report on Valley's Edge. They're still sort of semi trying to revive that project. The Town of Paradise Sewer Project, there has been some changes there. The Town of Paradise held some outreach meetings in this last month. They received and considered public and partnership input and identified an alternative to their sewer system, which as we know is no longer financially feasible. And the preferred alternative that they've selected is a hybrid step model. And so I believe there's going to be one additional public outreach meeting coming up. And then their staff and consultant will move forward with putting that project together. So there's still more to uncover with that, but they have identified and committed to this new phase of the project.
Let's clarify that, not, or Greg can do it.
Yeah.
He was there and so was I, but at this point in time, it's not a commitment.
Okay.
It's basically a recommendation, a recommended alternative that the town's ad hoc committee presented to the council and to the community at large. And that's will be reconsidered again on August 14th, right, Greg? With that in mind. So
Okay.
it's not a commitment at this
Okay.
point in time, just that's a minor clarification, but it's kind of important
Yeah.
because I think the council's still amenable to more further input from the community and that type of thing. And maybe things might change between the prior
Mhm.
community meeting and this coming date. Who knows? I mean,
Yep.
but
They considered, I want to say just 2 or 3 alternatives at this public meeting, and this is what they came up with. It's a
They
detailed.
visited several sites, the committee did, and there was several different systems that they looked at.
Yeah.
When they got done with that tour, those tours, several of them, and went through their paperwork and everything, they did come up with, this is as a thought process is what they're looking at right now, but it's not decided yet, so. There's more systems than I thought there were out there.
There's some really modern ones.
Lots of
There are.
creative ways.
Some very expensive ones, some very cheap ones, and
Yeah,
some that work and that won't work, and our topography makes it very difficult. too, so.
definitely.
Little lava too.
So all that to say that this commission's extension that we authorized to allow the town of Paradise to connect to the city of Chico sewer system just will not be exercised. It's just not feasible for them. Okay, nothing new on Barber Yard. City of Gridley MSR, I talked about this briefly, that the city of Gridley has received an application for a pretty substantial development north of the city of Gridley. But it's in an area we call the area of concern between the cities of Biggs and Gridley. It is contiguous to the city of Gridley and they're best suited to serve the area. It would potentially result in hundreds of new homes, which is pretty significant growth rate for the city of Gridley. So in having talked to them, I have now accelerated the MSR for the city of Gridley just so that we can make sure to capture the level of service that they're providing currently and the capacity that they have to serve new development into the future. And so I anticipate that the MSR, I want it to get to this commission for consideration and approval before this new development gets to the city council so that we can, or to us for annexation, so that we can base our decision based on the findings of this municipal service review. So I anticipate that that MSR would get to you in the fall-ish sometime. So but the status of the map at the city of Greeley remains incomplete. So there's still some work to do on staff's end, and then it'll get put out for comment and things like that. So still lots to do, but a pretty significant development as far as it goes in Gridley. Okay, moving on to LAFCo. There are some things to talk about here. Effective July 1st, I was appointed Deputy Executive Officer of LAFCo. And in that role, Deputy Executive Officer of LAFCo representing the Northern region. So in that role, I've been assigned to the LAFCO annual conference. So I'm working in partnership with a consultant hired by LAFCO to plan this year's upcoming conference that takes place in San Diego from October 22nd to 24th. Crystal and I will both attend the conference. And there's a really good agenda in place right now as far as sessions go. I'm planning one of them and I've asked to be a panelist on one of them. So I get bored if I don't do that. And so I'm participating in 2 sessions. So that's exciting. And then something's pretty significant is that at the last LAFCo board meeting, they approved a slew of changes based on months of data gathering and regional meetings and committee meetings. The LAFCo board approved changes and recommended bylaw changes that would happen at the upcoming October meeting. At the time I printed this, I didn't have the bylaw changes in my hands, so I can forward those to you, because what ends up happening is this commission has a voting delegate, which would be either me or Crystal, and at the meeting at the October conference, one of us votes yes or no on the proposed bylaw changes. At this point, we are recommending to approve the changes. Steve obviously has been a huge factor in creating the bylaw changes, and so hopefully this gets LAFCo back to a place of trust and cooperation, and we can move forward and move on from everything that's happened in the past. And then I did include, I don't have it in front of me, but there's attached to the agenda is an update on the actions taken at the board of directors meeting. It does include some of the language to the proposed bylaw changes that will take place at the October meeting. And then you can also see this 6 to 9 month action plan and sort of the steps that we're at and the steps that still need to be completed in order to sort of bring LAFCo back to a functioning organization. And lots of progress has been made, but there's still lots of progress to be had. So if you have any questions, I can answer that. And then just another comment is that LAFCo Elections Committee is accepting nominations for board seats until September 19th. For the Northern Region, we have 2 vacant board member positions, including county member and district member. And as of right now, a candidate for the county member has come forward, incumbent Nancy Ogren of Siskiyou County. She is willing to run again to hold that county member seat. But I will need to do some outreach to the Northern Region to identify a district member seat.
Would you like to be a district member? Think about it, there's more cows in Siskiyou County than people.
Okay.
I'll talk to Sharon about it. I might.
He's thinking about it.
Let me know, and at the September meeting, I can bring forward a nomination if that's the case.
I don't,
Well, does the nomination have to be adopted by the commission?
I believe so. There's a whole package for I can send you the nomination package for you to look over.
That
And
might be helpful.
okay.
Okay.
and then how many of the counties that either quit LAFCO or threaten to quit LAFCO are back in?
None. 8
No.
LAFCOs left LAFCO as of this fiscal year, which is unfortunate.
I thought San Diego was one of them.
Yes,
And we're having a conference in their county.
yes.
I don't want to be back on there, sorry. I don't.
We've
But you
heard,
guys-
yeah, we hear rumblings of many of those LAFCOs kept their funding and their budget to be a member of LAFCO, so they're just sort of waiting. I think
The changes come.
I think a lot of them are waiting for this October meeting to see if these bylaw changes pass. And if the significant thing that happens with the bylaw changes is making the regional officers a voting member of the board. So as the Northern Region regional officer, I would now have a vote at the board of directors. And this is to hopefully correct the misguidance that the board has had in the past, and keep the institutional knowledge that the DEOs have with them, keep that direction on the board and keep the focus. And so I don't know that in the Northern Region we'll have an issue with those bylaws, but central and coastal regions are sort of nervous about if their LAFCOs will pass those bylaws.
I think one of the wheels that fell off and it's gonna have to be put on is that LAFCo exists to try to prevent bad legislation, but we're given guidance that we weren't to take on hard issues.
Yeah.
Such as a district providing service outside their boundary because of an interpretation by a judge of the law that needed to be fixed. And that's what angered the bright, and this isn't being egotistical because I don't want other very bright people other than us here in Butte County really wanted to proceed with that, and they were going, no, it's too hard, it's too
Mhm.
hard. Well, even if it's a multi-year effort, you should address that. That's fundamentally a problem that I couldn't get over. And then when people started backstabbing and started playing politics in a way you wouldn't believe, reminded me of like right before the Revolutionary War, you know. I wanted out of there.
Yeah. They did,
I get to say I told you so, but
yeah.
hopefully you can fix it, and
They-
I'll be open-minded to that. I mean,
They did authorize the committee to negotiate a contract for a new executive director. The person who has stepped forward is the current executive officer for Placer LAFCo. Her name is Michelle McIntyre. She's got many years of LAFCO experience, and she has expressed that this is a challenge that she's wanting to take on. And so they're in contract negotiations with her, and I think that she will greatly benefit the organization. So looking forward to that.
all right.
And then just a quick note on legislation, there are a few bills that are floating around. I just brought up Senate Bill 777 just because it's interesting that the bill would require LAFCO commissions to identify a successor agency when a privately owned endowment care cemetery is deemed abandoned by the Cemetery and Funeral Bureau. So Cal LAFCO opposes the bill for
God.
reasons, that you can just pop into your head. And so we're just sort of following that along. It's currently under consideration in the Assembly Appropriations Committee. There are some LAFCOs rumbling of, well, this is our job. It's our job to identify, we're best suited to identify a successor agency. But I think generally the feeling is that this is a slippery slope of identifying a public agency to take over a private system. And so we're hoping to just keep that separation. And we'll see what happens. So I'll keep you updated, but I thought that was one of the more interesting bills.
To the funeral.
Yeah. They're everywhere.
They just don't.
Yes,
By wine shops.
yeah.
I'll be looking at my district.
In general, it sounds like statewide cemeteries are obviously an issue statewide, and someone's trying to do something about it. I don't know that this is the right thing. So. Okay, that wraps up my executive officer's report. Unless you have any questions, concerns, or further direction.
Any questions or comments about that? Well, that's a great report. How do you like your job? We didn't make a mistake, did we?
What's that?
I've got a comment. I noticed we don't have our legal counsel here, or are they online?
He was supposed to be online. He's traveling.
It's like the first time someone hasn't been here, so I just wondered.
He's traveling, but was supposed to join us via Zoom.
Okay, hopefully we did everything right.
Any correspondence we need to talk about?
No.
There's no more administration. I assume. Any closed session?
No.
I'll see you here Thursday, September 4th.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Bradley.
Well, we got- We,
Yeah.
you guys are dead.
Oh.
But look at all the money they're.
Hold on, Larry, I gotta talk to you. Don't leave yet. Oh, yeah, everything good. All right, get that tour done.